here. Do you guys remember this truck? This is the Arizona truck. This is one of the Coyote swapped vehicles, and today is one of the days where we get to get a closer look. We're going to do a follow-up on this vehicle. We're in Mount Vernon, Ohio today, Foundation Park, and it's colder than hell. It's almost New Year's Day, and we want to do a little walk around maybe, and also we're going to see if it'll spin the tires, because I don't know if you guys know this. Take a look at this engine. When's the last time you saw it? I'm standing over here by the engine because that's where the warmth is. It's a lot colder than it looks. There's no snow, but there ought to be this much because it's cold enough for it. Once I put this engine and transmission in and got this truck to move under its own power, my part was done, and it then went off to paint. But before it went off to paint, they actually had our buddy Tracy, I think was his name. Yep. He put it in air conditioning, did a great job. It's really nice. Thing blows ice cold. You don't really need it right now, however. And then he also did the trans cooler mount, and he really buttoned up a lot of the loose ends. So we appreciate him and all his hard work over at WMS. That was really cool. When they were done, they sent it over to Killer Customs, which is here in Mount Vernon, and our buddy painted it. And he did a really awesome driver quality job on this, and it looks so much better now than it did when it left me. But the proof is in the pudding. I know there were some transmission issues with the way the controller works, and I do believe Performance Automatic doesn't even make these anymore, and with good riddance if you ask me. But this one is now functioning, and the proof's in the pudding. Let's see if we can make some tire smoke. Sounds so quiet. It's actually a little frightening. You're not sure what's going to happen. I bet a good day of this and I can get it to spin around like the Dukes of Hazzard. It really is a joy to drive these things after you spend all the time putting them together, but I honestly cannot take all the credit for this. Were it not for Killer Customs and the amount of time they spent with that transmission controller, I don't know that this thing would be ready to go yet. We're going to take it out on the road and get a few miles under it and see how it really feels. But overall, I mean, it's pretty impressive. You get in it and you drive it, and other than a little bit of soft suspension, you feel like you got more power than you need. And isn't that what it's all about? Don't mind this, that's the Brady Bunch stereo. We're gonna put an 8-track in there later. When I took off, I initially thought I had it in sport.
Oh, okay. But you can look at this, and then if it says 1, then you know you're in the right one.
Oh, it's got an indicator?
Yeah, it'll say right on which, you can look down at it and see what gear you're in at the time. I think you're in 3rd right now.
Yeah, it's just a little early, I would think. I would try to move those parameters back, whoever sets the tuning up on that controller. But
I can do it and put another tune in it, and you can move them.
Right.
US Shift lets you move them where you want them. You just can't do it while you're driving it.
Yeah.
Because
monitor your tack and make notes or hook something up with live data.
Well, it's got live data stream on it that you can download what you just drove at, and then you can change the parameters from it.
It's pretty cool, I'll tell you. This thing, I don't really care for this plastic thing, but
You just go to the left up here.
does it have blinkers and everything?
Yeah.
All that magic stuff works?
Yes.
Do we have
all
heat?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
I thought when I initially did it, the heat was just looped together. Well, that's something.
Yeah,
It's got heat. It's got heat. It's got air conditioning. It's got a Coyote motor. All it needs now is road course suspension, and we'd be having a good old time. Oh yeah, it works great. It's blowing warm already. I can feel it. Good. You need that around here. I don't know how much you're going to need that in Arizona, but yeah, this thing's kind of gnarly. Wow. Sometimes you surprise even me. It goes right in. I would like to see those moved around. You know, I feel that same way about the old blue truck, the 68 Ford. The parameters of where it shifts, I would prefer we're in a different spot, but I guess it all depends on what you're doing.
Right. It is something that nobody could just put a straight tune in and know exactly what you need.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. You
like
need
I
to know
said,
what the vehicle weight is, the wheel
vehicle
size, the gearing, all of that matters.
Yeah.
So you have to fine tune it. So it's US shift. The other truck was performance
Yes.
automatic.
Yeah. This is US shift, and there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with it. But it works great. We did have a little problem with the harness, but it was an early harness, so
Yeah.
a little difficult to diagnose, but we finally determined it was the harness. So.
What's the longest trip you've had this out on so far?
This is it. It only had
Well-
4 miles from just testing it from before on it. That was it. Since that gauge clusters were put in.
I have, I got a AAA card if we need it.
I got my set on speed dial if I need to trailer it back.
Well, that's good. This is the real maiden voyage then.
Yeah.
So we pretty much took it out of the paint shop, brought it over to the parking lot, did a burnout, and then put it on the road.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Old Blue's different because it's down lower and it feels more car-like when you're in it. This is absolutely an F250 from the 70s. It absolutely is. It feels new though. Like, it's all Ford steering boxes have that slop in them, and I know that's all new because I put it in new. So, I mean, it's responsive. It's way better than it was when we drove it.
A lot of that could be even with the tires. These are old tires. It's
Yes,
on this
they
thing.
are.
And it does still need a line. It hasn't been aligned yet. So
Right.
You're probably chasing just a little bit more than you have than normal.
The front tires are soft too. I can tell they're down on air. Right.
Normally it wouldn't be not even the new trucks now.
No, I know, and they're expensive. This power steering setup on this truck is the same one I'm using on the Studebaker at home, and they're like $1,200. But this is better than what Jeremy has on his. He has a remote reservoir on his.
Yeah.
This is all inclusive.
Yeah. Looks a lot like a big block Chevy.
Oh, do
type
they have?
style.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
tank
They're
right
on there.
it.
Oh, it's nice and toasty in here.
Yeah, it's a very drivable, user, everyday type truck at this point.
It is. It's a little bit better than Blue's. He's gonna bring that. Thing's as smooth as
Big.
butter. It's big.
They have a big car show here every year.
We're having a car show here right now.
Yeah.
We're in it, and it's a show. It's not very interesting at this point, but it is without a doubt shifting smoother now than when we
Yes.
first took it out.
It is. It's doing much better.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's run a lot cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
having to be as pronounced with my foot on the accelerator pedal to get the desired result.
Right.
For a mile per hour or a hill or whatever, I'm very subtle now on the pedal, where before I had to like tell it. I was yelling at it. It's pretty badass, I gotta tell you. Yeah, it's definitely improving the way that it handles elevation change. Alright, well this truck is turning into something I would actually want. I never thought I would want a big long bed, you know, but it's got a cool, classy look to it. Sort of original, but you can tell there's something going on. And it drives great. Can you imagine pulling up at the show, opening this up, and showing everybody? Their mouths are going to hit the floor.
Or more likely, when you leave the show and you're smoking it out, you're going to be like, what in the world was in there?
Well, you know, there's another thing. Coyote motors are like, to me, like Hemi motors. The modern versions, they have a distinct sound.
So it's got that short stroke, they get RPM really quick.
Yes. And it's a small engine. It's a 302. It's
Right.
little.
The stroke is what makes this.
Well, no, I've been learning more and more about what you can do to the Coyote engines, and in stock form, they will handle forced induction up to 800 and some odd horsepower on stock internals. That's pretty impressive, don't you think?
Yeah.
But they have a very distinct sound. Like you'll know if you're in the house near a main road and you hear a Mustang drop a gear and take off. It's got almost a brappy kind of, you know, sort of individual sound, like the Hemi trucks, like your truck, like, you know, the Durangos and the stuff I built. They sound awesome, and this has it. So when it leaves the show, people are gonna go, "What? Did you hear that? What? That motor don't go in that truck."
Don't sound like a 390.
FE motor. Yeah, it's really good. It's smoothed out quite a bit. Look at this. What do we got here?
Very expensive.
Can you see that, YouTube? What's up, fella? That's probably some old guy. He's like, what are they waving at? Damn
Must be
assholes.
something fell off my truck.
That's the way all trucks look. No, not anymore, it ain't. Man, if this engine was in a car, something light like a Mustang, some sort of shindig, I don't know. Boy, that's a mechanical switch, isn't it? Well, I'm very excited. This guy's gonna be happy. This truck's badass. I think it was well worth the wait. It's awesome. That was a real nice little cruise through the country in a truck that probably has too much motor for its own good. But I think that's what Fred had in mind when he sent this truck to us back so many months ago. It's gonna be worth it for him when he gets it in his own hands, and I can tell you that it's a joy to drive. I'd like it to see some shows in town, but this time of year, all that's over. By the time this video airs, you should be able to see this thing back home in its nice, warm, crusty state of Arizona. So if you like what you've seen, if you like the Coyote builds, if you like this truck, Old Blue, the Metro van, the Jeep that we're doing right now, we have a 41 Plymouth. We got another one of these from California. If you like what you see, please remember to like, subscribe, and share everywhere you see fit. Stay tuned, more to come. And I think more to come is more of an understatement, really, because the shop is changing, the builds are evolving, they're getting more interesting, and I try to keep things fresh and exciting, but I'm telling you, if you have one of these old trucks, I really think you need to save it, hang on to it. You don't need to paint it and go full Coyote, but get it back out on the road, because they're just special. And you never know when you're going to come across something that's amazing. I wonder if that's for sale. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you got a half a second, hit that like button. Go back, check out some of the other videos. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.